Everybody doing it right. Hard work, work, work. That's what they say. Hard work, work, work. Earn more pay. Hard work, do it every day. Hard work.
Yeah, welcome. It is KBOB 89.9 FM. Your boy Ramona Hometown Heat here this morning, well, this afternoon, this evening, however you look at the planet right now. It is your time, man. We are so excited that you are here with us today on KBOB 89.9 FM. And, of course, Mr. Von B is here with us today. And we are going to talk more about suicide prevention, man. This is the week, National Suicide Prevention Week. And this is a week, man, that we really talk about and have conversation about suicide prevention and everything that's going on. Now, we know that soldiers deal with a lot of issues, and suicide is one of the issues that, a lot of veterans face on a continual basis. And that's something that we do need to talk about and have conversation about. Because, you can say, oh, that's them. But, at some point in time in your life, you had a thought about suicide. Like, somebody in your family had a thought about suicide. That's not everybody. Not everybody has had a thought of suicide. But there are a great amount of people that I have come in contact with, that I've seen, that I've, just been around and listened to, that people have struggled with it. So don't only just think that nobody in your circle of influence, or somebody that you work with, somebody that you've seen, somebody that you eat with, don't have those same challenges. Now, it may not be you, which is totally cool. It's totally fine, perfectly fine that it may not be you. But now, if it's not you, then let's help other people that may be struggling with that. So you got to think outside of just your box, your square, your four, and no more. Now, you got to think outside and really think about other people and their struggle. So, yes, you may be the one that just never had that thought, which I applaud you and congratulate you. But now it is time for you to share what you do to help other people not have to deal with that, man. So something that we always do here on the show, Left Right Left Radio Show, is talking about your motivation, you on the inside. What drives you? What are you hungry to do? What do you want to do in life, man? Some may be out here that may not be in high school anymore. You may be a whole adult, and you still don't know what you want to do in life, man. So this is what this radio show is here for, to help all of our veterans. Hey, make sure, again, you check us out at KBOB899.com. Also on our Facebook at KBOB 899 as well. And all streaming platforms. We're everywhere. So, yeah, we got this right here. So enjoy. Soak this in. This is for you.
If something ever doesn't go the way that you've planned and you find yourself in that situation, don't panic. The most important thing you can do is stay calm, stay present. Being able to be calm, that you've laid a plan out, you've done what you've done that got you to this point. If something comes up that you didn't expect or that you didn't know was going to come, your plan's not bad. It got you to where you are. Right now you have to deal with what's in front of you. That doesn't mean run away, it doesn't mean stop and don't do anything. It means deal with it. Deal with what's in front of you, move through it, move around it, move over it, move under it, but keep moving forward. Rectify the situation, regroup, and go.
I'm talking to those guys who hate to fail, because I hate to fail. It's really as simple as that. It takes tubs and tubs of ice cream, lots of tissues, lots of tears, lots of dramabazi, my mother, my best friends, my family, everybody making me feel better about it. But the one thing that is as certain as night and day, ladies and gentlemen, is that you will fail. It's just how it is. And there is nothing that you can do to stop that. It's what you do after that'll define where you go. When something I've invested in my heart and my soul, which I do with everything that I actually put my mind to, if that fails, I don't just wallow in self-pity. I roll myself in it. I roll around in it. I wrap myself in it, head to toe, self-pity, self-pity, self-pity. It's not a pretty sight. But then I get up, cry a little, dust myself off, and dive straight back into life, because the only way to push failure aside is to move ahead. Not ignore it, analyze it, and learn from it. Always remember, you will never truly enjoy success until you have tasted failure. Fail, fail, fail again, and then rise like a phoenix. Now, what is life without a little bit of a risk, right? No, I'm not an adrenaline junkie. I'm not telling you to go off roller coasters or anything. I've always believed that you have to take risks, calculated, educated risks, to evolve. Because if you've not truly explored the full extent of your possibilities, you'll always remain stagnant. People have written me off several times in my career. Sometimes they didn't agree with my choices. When I played a negative character in my film Aitraz, very early in my career, I was told I'll be a vamp and no one will cast me as a heroine. When I took on a female-centric film called Fashion, again very early on in my career, I was told that was not norm. When I signed a US TV show at the height of my film career in India, each time the risks were huge. The stakes were high and the repercussions could have been, to say not the least, career ending. Thank God they weren't, and I'm still standing in front of you. I really appreciate God. I don't know what will happen going forward, but as of now, I can say that my risks and the gamble was worth it. You know why? Because I backed up those risks with my 100%. Be bold and take these risks.
One of my life mantras that saves my butt every single day of the week is this idea that clarity comes from engagement, not thought. So you can be, sitting on your couch and wrestling with two options, whether it's which business should I start? Should I stay in this relationship or not? Should I go back to school or should I, stay in this job? There's a million things that all of us kind of struggle with each and every day. And one of the things that's helped me, and I remember it was actually tied back to when I was considering whether or not to go for some type of career in dance. Now, I never had any formal dance training. My dance experience really was me moonwalking across my mom's linoleum floor in my white socks to like Michael Jackson. That's as far as the dance training I had, but I love to dance. And when I was starting my life coaching business at 23, one of the things that was awesome about that experience was getting a chance to really look at all my own beliefs and my own desires and what was in my own heart. And that's when I started to really identify that I didn't just want to be a coach and I didn't want to just focus on one specific thing. And I loved spirituality, I loved business, I loved marketing, I loved personal development, and I also loved fitness and I also loved dance. And so I was having a hard time reconciling what to call myself, what to focus on. It was really a confusing time in my life. It was really frustrating because I had a lot of drive and I wanted to help people and I wanted to make a difference, but I didn't and I couldn't figure out how I fit into society. So this idea of dance just didn't leave me alone. And I remember just saying to myself, like, if I don't actually go and take a class, like, how am I going to know? And so I went and I took my first ever professional dance class at Broadway Dance Center. I remember going into that class and it was like the warm-up section, and I just sat down on this wooden floor and I moved myself in the back because I was terrified that I would make, people trip or that people would laugh at me. And I just sat on the floor and the music came on and I started crying because it felt so right. And I'm like, why have I tortured myself for like 3 years going like, could I dance? Should I dance? Should I try to dance? I mean, I tortured myself for years about that and was miserable. And so this idea, clarity comes from engagement, not thought. If you're wrestling with something, do anything you can to move towards the thing that you think you want. If you're not sure if you should stay in a relationship, it's like, give that relationship everything you can. Go get some couples therapy, talk to somebody, say, I want to work on this. If it's a career that you might want to investigate or you might want to move towards, like, go take a class, intern, get yourself embedded in that field somehow to test it, because your body has a truth. It has a natural knowing that you can never access through your mind alone. And I think that once you engage with your body and you actually take action, there is this flood of intelligence that you have access to that you cannot get any other way.
Man, a lot to be said right there, a lot to be respected, and we're so glad that you could be here at KBOB 89.9.com. And oh man, I'm so glad because I have Misty Von B here with me. How are you, Misty? You doing okay today?
Hello, I'm doing really good.
Good. So how was your week, first of all? Let's talk about that.
It was good.
It was good. What you get into? Just
talking to my mom a lot and talking to my daughter a lot.
Man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. So, it's Suicide Prevention Week, and of course, being veterans, there is so much that we have seen, that talked about, and that is a real topic with veterans and suicide. So,
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, what's your perspective on helping, or what veterans deal with as far as mental health, like, and suicide?
I feel like it's very unfortunate,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like they have a position called the peer support person. I feel like that one is a really good one. I feel like we can relate to each other in a way that we can really take, help each other.
Yeah, for sure, and it's definitely needed, man. And I think that's a good pathway with the peer support and helping veterans that do have struggles in that area, because it's like, to break it down, I sometimes think like this, Misty. Like, so, like, we both humans. Like, this is our first time ever being this age, like, in our life. We've been through a lot of trauma. There's trauma that our great grandparents have been through, that they have all dealt with, and it got passed on down to our lives. And so it's like, and then, serving in the military, you experience some different things than other people, and so it's like, my thing is that I think we still have things that we all need healing from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially with veterans, we have different experiences that we had to go through, and so coming back home is not as structured. So it's challenging. So I just feel that we got to give each other grace, a little room to like have a day that you ain't okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have those days.
Yeah.
So
I think with each new thing we do in our lives,
mm-hmm.
whether it's like college, whether it's the military, whether it's just working for a new company, it brings on a new set of rules, a new set of conditions. So here we are trying to juggle the rules that we've already held for so long.
Yeah.
And then you bust the door in the military and you got all new rules.
Yes.
And then you bust the door out.
Yes.
And you got all new rules again.
That's good. I never thought of it like that.
So, I mean, one of the biggest things I find myself telling people, because some people, they like find the need to constantly tell their story.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, I don't like telling my story
Mm-hmm.
because when people hear my story, I feel like I call it dropping my turds in your toilet.
Okay.
Like, I don't like dropping my toys and turds in other people's toilets.
Yeah.
Because it makes them feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have to tell my story, I'll tell it.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of time I'll tell my people who go through really bad things, like, just don't tell that story over and over again, because you're pouring salt on the wound.
Oh, wound.
You're scratching the wound.
Yeah.
And every day, if you think about that story, you're, and it's hard when you have PTSD.
Yeah.
I know it's hard,
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
But you have to find a place where you can just take these philosophies and take these things that people have been trying to teach us, these lessons, and try to make the best of that.
For sure.
Everything can't come from us.
For sure.
It has to come from God.
Yeah.
And it has to, and God bring people to us in our lives to make us better and to give us strength and to give us courage. You know what I mean? So I try to take advantage of those people. That's why I always have a mentor. I always have somebody who's been through what I've been through and whatever it is. That's something we learned from the military.
For sure. 100%. So speaking of that, I mean, so let's talk about this. So the suicide rate amongst veterans within 5 years have gone up from 6,000 veteran suicides between 2005 to 2017. Men are more likely by suicide than women veterans. And let's just talk about that, man. With the suicide rates that from 5 years ago have gone up, like especially now during COVID, there are way more challenges now that people didn't face. You try to get into your regimen. Like, I can do this, I can, and if something like this is thrown in your way, where a mom or dad dies, or a child dies, that's a big like bump in the road. So, I mean, what do you think that are some of the challenges and why suicide rates are going up, in general? Like, what's your perspective on that?
I think that sometimes I think it's just that thing of having somebody to talk to. And like you said, some people, their parents aren't here. Not everybody has parents. Everybody kiss your parents, love your parents, because not everybody has that. Not everybody has siblings. Like, we all who we have things, we're blessed. We don't think about the people, like even our best friends who don't have those things in their lives. Like, one of my best friends, her mom passed away when we were kids. So I give her my mom, like, hey, let's go visit my mom. Me and you, you need
that's
that.
Dope. Yeah. So you even share the things that, they didn't get to experience in life. You share your life and the blessing that you have of having a mother with somebody. That's smart. That's good. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's something that anybody can do.
Yeah, because if you have a dad and your dad is a great dad, like you've always had good shoes on your feet, you can give your dad, like, say, hey, your friends come over and talk to your dad. Yeah. It's as simple as that.
That's true.
So we got to take that extra step, and we got to be like preemptive. Like, I want to catch my friend before they get on the edge. I want to give them something, like they know they have somebody. Yeah. Like, so everybody needs to know they have somebody.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. And so assistance program for survivors, wives have lost their husbands to suicide. And there is a program that is available, and it's called TAPS. Also, the American Bible Society rolled out a program for veterans called God Understands Campaign. It serves as people who battle mental health challenges, and it gives others to listen to other people's story for them to know you're not alone. And I think that's the biggest thing for me and a lot of people is that you feel that you're the only one going through this particular situation, but you're not the first person on this planet to live your life and to go through the things that you have. And I think it's wise for people to go out and seek help and to find your normalcy, to find
for sure.
people that have been through that and that are continuing to live through that.
Like, my big question that I deal with is, I've done the right things. I've done what I've been good. Yeah. Like, why is all this bad stuff happening to me? Yeah. That's like my lifelong question. And I'm sure that's a lot of people's question when it comes to that, suicide. Yeah.
For sure, man. It is. And so another thing is that now they tell us to social distance, and I'm a hugger by just naturally. And to isolate yourself as a veteran, it could also pile on more thoughts of suicide. Isolation is not a good thing. Whenever you're going through, of course, you want to cry, you want to be in your own zone, but isolation, I've learned, is not the best way to go at all. Yeah. So looking at isolation and how we can isolate ourselves as veterans and just people in general, like, what's your perspective on, isolation and how we need not to be from a woman's veteran's perspective?
Sometimes you can be in your own head, and you do what I call spinning. So when I'm by myself, I do a lot of spinning. I think about the same things over and over again and over and over again, till my head is turning around. Yeah. But it's just, I have so many siblings and I have so many friends. Yeah. And in that moment, you wonder if anybody can relate to what your life was like. Yeah. And you think about it, and and everybody, we feel so alone. It's like nobody can really relate to my life. But there's somebody out there that can. Yeah. When I met my mentor in South Carolina, I was dealing with kind of man problems, and she saw me kind of looking up to her marriage because she had been married for so long. She's married 44 years this year. And she took me to the side. And she said, you know what? I've had to do some crazy things, against my husband to get him to be a good man. So I don't want you to idolize our marriage to think that this is what you want. This is where, you want to be, because it's always going to be, a fighting. You have to know that fight is worth fighting.
Yeah. 100%, man. And I think that, having people in your corner that can give you the wisdom, and tell you kind of just see ahead. I just believe in time travel, and I believe that people can tell you about, the future of your life.
Yeah, I dream in the future. I have memories from the future.
Yeah. I believe that that's true, and I think that's something that you can adopt, even if you do have trouble with facing yesterday and facing today. Like, it's perfectly okay to dream about tomorrow and to how you want it, what color you want it, so that keeps you outside of the box of just staying in that cycle in your mind of what happened in this particular day. Like, the thing that troubles me a lot is when we talk about the day that I was in Iraq and when the bomb hit, my trailer. Like, that was a very traumatic day for me. And it's like, I could easily go back into that day and think about what I'm doing and kind of replay it in my head and hash it. But no, now that was one moment in my life. You know what I'm saying? And you have to move on from those bad moments in your life to really just move forward. I mean, what do you think about? I mean, even your forward thinking as a whole. What's your forward thinking thoughts?
One of the things that I think moving forward, like I've had dreams of having 2 kids.
Okay.
I have 1 child now. I've had dreams of having 2 kids. Many dreams of having a son. And I'm pushing that 40 right now. Yeah. So I don't know, but it does give me strength. It does. I try to just draw from everywhere. I think about stuff people told me years ago. I think about being sad as a child. I think about being sad as a child, and what really kept me going was knowing that when I get here, I'm gonna have control of all of this. And we are in control. We're in control. We can decide to be happy. We can decide to be sad.
I believe it.
And it comes from within us.
That's it. That's it.
But also you have to be able to manage your outside. Like you have to get to a point, like, okay, for example, in my family, we used to have a whole lot of drama. But I decided one day, I was like, I'm going to start kicking doors in and telling my family, like, we have to love each other. And some people have not got to that point. So it's like, a part of it is like a promise to yourself. But then behind every promise is an action. You know, so with the suicidal situation, it's like, I sit down and I write stuff down, and I would want anybody who's suicidal to write stuff down. Open the book, write something down. And then write down the way forward. Just like we would in the military. What is the way forward? How do I fix this problem? How do I make it where this is not a problem? You know, bill collectors. Maybe I need to go live with somebody. Never be afraid to go live with someone. That is another thing. You know, sometimes we have to humble ourselves, but you know, whatever the problem is, you can try to map out. We have to map it out. We can't just sit here and think like, oh, what am I do?
Move, like get up and do something.
Exactly. But I try to be really sensitive with anybody that I know has faced suicide, because I don't know your story. I don't know whoever's story. Nobody knows my story until you tell it. But even when you tell it, some people will say, oh, I understand. And the first thing you think is like, how can you understand?
Exactly.
So if somebody tells me that, okay, somebody says it to me. After I tell them my story, I understand. I'll tell them, no, you cannot understand. You can try and empathize. So we have to stop saying that I understand. You know, that's one thing. But I can try and empathize. I can try and understand. I may have been through a similar thing, not the same thing. So we just have to be very sensitive and very careful how we deal with each other. And I mean, the Black community, it's just as much as, I don't know the numbers, but you know, we face similar things as veterans. So I'm speaking for that too. You know, we really have to be a village. For real.
Really. Because I mean, it's like a brotherhood and a sisterhood in a way, to where, you know, we are in the military. It's a fraternity in a way. You know what I'm saying? This is some hard stuff that you had to go through to just say that you get the lowest rank, whatever it is that you were, you know what I mean? And in your respective field. But like, we all had to go through that same process. It was nothing different for anybody else. And so it's just like, you have to know and understand, even as a veteran yourself, that like, we are in this together. Like, we only have a certain amount of time here on earth, and it'll be just a whole new generation of somebody else doing things. So it's like, while we're here, like, one, talk about your situations, you know, deal with them, and you have to find a way to make it work for you. Like,
exactly, we have to put ourselves first. Us, we don't grow up putting ourselves first. Because our parents teach us, oh no, you gotta pay a little bit of this rent. Or oh no, you gotta take a little whoever to school. You know, we don't really grow up with that healthy love of ourselves. And if I could give that to my friends that I know, you know, I could give that to them. I promise.
And it's so much that you want for your friends, but they may not take it on and inherit that in a way. So, all right. So, hey, check this out. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to talk more on this topic, man. It's Suicide Prevention Week. No, we're not experts in the particular situation, but hey, we do have our own stories, and we can share our stories with you and share a little bit of our perspective with you. Now, if you need professional help, and there are plenty of people that can support you and help you at the time that you need, and we're going to share that information and those details coming up in just moments. So make sure you keep it locked right here. This is KBOB 89.9 FM, man. Keep it locked right here. We'll be right back.
We would like to invest in Tulsa's African American community. The Black Wall Street Chamber of Commerce is a great place to start. The Chamber was created to serve and increase the visibility of needs in our community. It is an umbrella organization for local businesses, the Tulsa Juneteenth Festival, BWS Black Women in Business, and the Grassroots Economic Development Fund known as BWS The Power Group. For more information about the Black Wall Street Chamber of Commerce or to donate to the Power Group, visit bwschamber.com.
How to order chicken wings. Number 1, find a good wing spot.
I know a wing spot, Max Wings.
Number 2, decide if you want a combo or if you want to order a la carte.
Huh? What's that?
Well, combos come with chicken, veggie sticks, fries, and a drink for a discounted price. A la carte means that you order each item separately.
Okay.
3, decide if you want bone-in, boneless, or cauliflower wings, and then determine the delicious flavor you want on your wings.
I didn't even know cauliflower had wings.
You learn something new every day. Have you been to Max Wings?
Yep.
Max Wings is located at 782 East Pine Street in Tulsa. We're open Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Friday and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Come to Max Wings, home of the dry rub fries.
P&J Publishing Incorporated announces a new book release, The Entrepreneurial Woman. The World is Your Playground by Angela K. Chambers, MES. Available right now for pre-order at payhip.com/B/NBAC. The book release is set to hit June 1st, 2020. If you're ready to publish your book, visit us online at www.pnjpublishing.com. Unleash that book that's inside of you with P&J Publishing.
Everybody's talking about you and her together. How could you do that to me?
We're ready for life beyond COVID-19, beyond boundaries. It's time to move beyond, connect beyond, celebrate beyond, live beyond. And the vaccine is our best shot at getting there. Get your free vaccine at vaccinate918.com today. Brought to you by the Tulsa Health Department.
Welcome back to KBOB 89.9 FM. You are here with Left Right Left Radio Show with Misty Von B, your boy Ramon on Hometown Heat. And of course, man, we are talking about veterans and how we can support veterans better and be a best support to you and us. We are in this together, man. So one thing that we wanted to share was actual solutions. You know, we want you to talk to professionals and we want you to get the help that you need. Yes, it's a good conversation here, but I mean, the biggest thing is for you to take action and just be like, man, I need help. Like, that's the biggest thing that we would love to see. So, Misty, do you have any solutions that people can reach out to?
Yes, a great tool for anyone who's in need of psychological help. They feel like they may be becoming suicidal is the Veterans Crisis Hotline. It's a tool for both current and former military members. Mm-hmm. That number is 1-800-273-8255.
Yes. So you can call that number and get help. Do you have any other resources that are available?
You could also text them. Their text number is 838-255 to text with a mental health specialist or professional, excuse me.
Yeah. Love it, man. So we're gonna keep those numbers because we're gonna share those numbers again. Mm-hmm. But we want to make sure that you get the help that you need, man. So what, Misty? So the biggest thing that people can do. Let's talk about getting help. Like just saying I need help.
Either saying I need help or somebody or being able to see if someone needs help.
True.
A lot of time it's somebody you know who needs the help and they don't want to tell you.
Yeah.
So I found this list of warning signs of suicide.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have, if you see this in any of your people, you know, you need to speak to them. You need to, speak to them. So if you find someone talking about wanting to die, or looking for ways to die, if they are talking about feeling hopeless and having no purpose, if they're talking about feeling trapped or being in unbearable pain, if they are talking about being a burden to others, and this is from military.com. I did not write this.
Sure.
If they are increasing their use of alcohol or drugs, if they are acting anxious or agitated or behaving recklessly, they're sleeping too much or too little, if they're withdrawing or feeling isolated, if they're showing rage or talking about seeking revenge, or if they are displaying mood swings. Essentially, if they look like they are depressed or have anxiety.
Man, it's so crazy. Like, so I was a security guard over at Quick Trip on Averill and Delaware, and the homeless population is prevalent in that particular area, and it's just so many people that are so depressed and going through so much in life, and it's challenging to see that any moment anybody can snap, because they say the first kind of signs is your appearance and how you look and how you feel and how you talk about death in general. And I think the biggest thing is to really keep our eyes and ears open for people. And so, I mean, what's your experience with helping someone that has, looked that way or felt that way? Like, what do you do on our basis? Because you are a professional. Let me say that I'm not the one that doesn't have the degree like she does, Misty. So I know that you come in contact with people and you've actually, tried to help folks in certain areas. Like, what's your approach on that?
I try to read between the I'm fine. When someone hits you with the I'm fine, I try to, look at the tone in their voice or how they're looking compared to the day before. And it's like, hey, you said you were fine, but I don't think you're okay. You all right? And I do that. And some, that person might, the whole spiel might come out after that.
Yeah.
And when they told you they was fine 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've started doing. Yeah. It's like, are you really fine?
Yeah, really okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. And another thing that the veterans can do, there is a website, va.gov, that you can go to. They have veteran suicide prevention as well. And just asking for help, like, instead of just typing up and looking how to kill yourself, like, look up ways that you can get help, and support. And, 9 times out of 10, they say, people that they do commit suicide, they're doing a search. They're looking at different ways that they can kill themselves and hurt themselves and what would take me out quicker than other things. And so I think the biggest thing altogether is for us to be able to, the average person having the resources, like us just knowing how to help.
Well, a great one here in Oklahoma is finding a church home.
Yeah.
There's churches, every corner here.
Yeah.
If you find you a church home or at least somebody you can go and pray with, you can be your auntie, your cousin.
Yeah.
I have friends that see my post look a little sad. They'll call me up, hey, we need to pray. Let's do it. And I never turn away prayer.
Yeah.
Anything that's going to make me better, bring it. Anything that's going to improve my life, I'm open to it. So we also have to keep an open mind.
Yeah, 100%, man. We do have to keep an open mind, and knowing that we're all have some form of therapy that we can give to people, even if it's just listening. And people may not have the answer in that particular moment, but just listening sometimes is therapy enough, and letting people vent.
Or actually going to therapy. I've been going to therapy over 10 years.
Nice.
And I've learned that I have to have a therapist that I like. Like if they're like kind of a jerk, I just,
it's not gonna vibe.
I'll disappear.
Yeah.
My mom always says, you can call to there's a line that you can call. You can call the state board, the board of the medical board of the state, and they'll let you know. Like you can ask them specifically, like, can you tell me the black therapist in Oklahoma? Can you tell me the black, medical doctors? And they'll tell you this is the top, whoever. And my mom, she's always done that for us.
Wow, that's amazing. So, I mean, even having a family that is supportive in that area of mental health and really talking about those things, like how has that? I mean, looking back, like how do you feel that has helped you?
It's brought us leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
Just being able to take accountability for our role too. We all have a role in whatever it is.
Yeah.
So me and my mom, we sit down and we let out whatever we need to let out. And we usually don't fight. Sometimes we fight.
Yeah.
But like a lot of, I'm bringing up my mom because I know that there's an issue with Black parenting too.
Yeah,
true. It's not just the military.
True.
It's parenting.
I agree.
It's the being a parent.
Yes.
That's one thing that can drive you. It's driving. I get anxiety about driving.
Man, yeah.
All of these things.
Yeah.
That can become baggage.
Yeah.
I told my mom and she started laughing. I said, Mom, I just feel like I got so many bags on my back. Like,
yeah.
And you just gotta know how to release those. You gotta release those.
Yeah, for sure, man. And now that I think about it, like we used to get SWATs in elementary school. Like I know it was bad, but we just needed to be listened to. Like something was going on at home. Instead of SWAT, you probably did. You get SWATs like in elementary?
I never had a SWAT. I was too good.
Was you just that good, Misty?
I never.
But they were swatting in your grade, like.
Well, okay, they stopped swatting when I was in kindergarten to first grade.
Okay.
I only got in trouble one time in kindergarten. I was in the bathroom playing some little clapping game.
Yeah.
And it made it so bad. I remember who it was.
Yeah.
It was with my homegirl Judy. Me and Judy got in trouble for playing the clapping game in the bathroom. They pulled my worm because you had a worm that was in the apple.
Oh yeah.
You got in trouble. They pulled it out.
Oh.
I cried. I never had my worm pulled. And what happens if you get your worm pulled? You can't have popcorn on Friday.
Oh.
So I cried. And I never got in trouble again the rest of the year. Let me tell you, Judy ended up becoming a Navy officer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So play hand games in the bathroom. You maybe become just two great leaders. I don't know. Like you just break the rules. That was weird, but anyways,
I remember everything. I remember all of my little, stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just that person. I remember stuff.
But so altogether, back to just suicide and also the memories that we had, like when we were younger, things have happened to us while we were kids that weren't supposed to happen to us when we were kids.
I always bring up childhood depression. Childhood depression is very real.
I agree.
You have to look at your kids.
Yeah.
I mean, because you have kids jumping in front of cars.
Yeah.
And everyone's wondering why. You have to talk to your child.
Yeah.
You have to.
Listen to them. Give them an outlet, let them do what they do, because I do believe that, man. It's things that happen, and they have a world to think. They lose things, they lose dogs, that things that they were really attached to that really hurt them, and so we can't just sweep that under the rug, So it's definitely pertinent that you talk therapy, utilize therapy as at a young age as much as possible, man, because it's like we're all growing up in the same world. We seeing the same things. We seeing COVID,
Exactly.
People passing away, and it hurts when you see your family die, or your cousin and stuff like that. It really hurts, and it's like, how do you grieve? They say you got to grieve in your own way, but I mean, how do you heal from that? Do you just continue to grieve for the rest of your life? So. Those are the things that I think that we really need to, get supports on. And we'll have on the show more, to really think about and talk about that. But
I think too that me growing up, with my African side, and then I have my American side. I feel like the stuff that we are doing with our African traditionalism is not happening as much in Black America.
What do you mean?
I would love for the parents, the grandparents, to teach the children. You have to go see that person, like it says in the Bible, who's sick, shut in. You have to go to that funeral and give your, I don't forget the word, but my aunt, may she rest in peace. She would always tell me that you have to visit people when they're ill, when they are shut in, when they get older. We have to be their support system. We can't just forget about them. If your family member gets COVID, you need to be dropping stuff off at their door.
Sure.
We have to be each other's support.
Yeah. We have to, man.
It's not every man for themselves. I feel like we've been taught every man for themselves.
That's true. We're taking that on for sure.
It's kind of a, like ever since what America was colonized.
Yeah.
It was like, I want this land for myself.
Yeah.
So this selfishness has been bred. I mean, I'm telling you, this goes deep. It's something I think about all the time.
That's real.
When my family don't call me, I'm like, you know why? Because nobody older told them to call me. Their grandparents didn't tell them, hey, you need to support your family.
Yeah, that's so true, man. And it is very important. And as a veteran, that we were all taught to take care of one another, to help one another, to support one another, to help get the mission done. You know what I mean? So that we can all succeed at the end of the day. This life is about a win-win situation. You want to win, I want to win. So how can we, make it to where we can all win in this life?
Exactly.
So even if your family members that do struggle, and I appreciate you saying that, like the family members that do struggle, that are sick, shut in, and the elderly, we do need to get back to that basis in serving community and helping them, man. So I agree with that. So what are some things that we as a community can do to help the elderly and the sick and shut in? Like, is it just stopping by? I mean, what are some ideas that we can do with that?
For me, I like to, and I said this before though.
Yeah.
I like to give gifts.
Yeah. True.
I like to send videos.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll send a little video, Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because they want to see how you doing. They want to see what you look like, how your hair is, you know. And since I've started making those TikTok videos, I've gotten so much feedback.
That's dope.
Oh, I see you.
That's dope.
It's like people are getting to know me more. They forgot about me.
Yeah,
now I'm back.
yeah.
And it's bringing me back psychologically too.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, now I have to really show them.
Yeah.
We have to be able to show who we are.
Yeah.
You can just say I'm me. I'm me is not enough. You have to show who you are.
Yeah.
And you show it with your gifts.
That's right.
And your children are your gifts.
Yeah.
So, like, I have a family member who doesn't bring his child over, which is my nephew. And it hurts me. It hurts me so bad. I just think about my nephew. I just think about his smile.
But they don't. Yeah.
And they don't even, he's not even thinking about it.
Yeah. That's so true, man. It's challenges in this life that a lot of people have. And, we can be so independently focused on getting us out there. But at the end of the day, it's all about family, man, and how we can help them to develop and build too. But like you said earlier, we still kind of got to think about us too.
Yes.
And our mental wellness and health and what we got to do in life and our ambitions. But at the same time, don't let it get so big that you just forget, your mom or dad or cousin, nephew, whoever it may be. So,
and the way we strengthen ourselves is by educating ourselves, by reading, by doing something new.
Yeah.
When I was a kid and I would get discouraged, I would just open the Bible and flip to something and read it.
Yeah.
That's something I did.
And that's way work for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. And as long as it works for you, that is perfectly fine. You don't have to have a
recipe.
Right.
The recipe is whatever pushes you forward, progresses you, brings positivity and energy into your life. You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's recipe is different.
Yeah. And God had a plan for all of us to do a certain work here on this earth for a certain amount of time. So it's just like, you got to be able to focus on the things that you're called to do. And I mean, I think on the list of responsibility is family. Like, it's just like mandate.
Yeah.
So
I was talking to a lady that I met in the thrift store. I was thrifting. And she said, you're doing all these things. She says, you need to bring people closer to God.
Yeah.
She says, because you have it in you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she's exactly right.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, in some way, we all... we could all use a little more spirituality, So I've just been thinking on that and just, keeping busy.
Yeah.
It's as simple as keeping busy.
Yeah. 100%.
When you get bored, when you get complacent, that's when all these bad thoughts start to trickle in.
So let me even ask you this, just culturally now, like even being, having family from Africa as well, is suicide as prevalent in Africa, like, or in, from the places that you were from?
Because of their spiritualism, I don't think it is. I don't know exactly, but I'm certain it is not.
Yeah. Because
they have a greater spirituality, whether it's in the African tradition or whether Christianity or Muslim, however, it's stronger there.
It's a different walk.
It's when you have that tradition, because we kind of lost and not like in our own, we're kind of tradition wise, we're kind of trying to find that.
Right.
And so we have to find it on our own.
Yeah.
I'm backing up because I'm loud. I know I'm loud.
Yeah. No. You good.
But yeah, it's like, I like researching my history too. And I like that idea. If you have a long lost relative, like I just like having something to drive toward. If I'm driving, I ain't got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
this is not. If I'm driving, I have nowhere to go. I jump behind somebody and go where they're going.
Yeah.
I say if they going somewhere, I'm gonna go where they going.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to have that support system, that direction. And if you don't have tradition, I mean, you can find one. You can. Yeah. There's always somebody open to take you under the wing.
True, so true, man. And I think that it's important to have the right association as well. Like just having people around you that can speak life into you and that see you.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
The people around you, make you who you are. Mm-hmm. Like I've learned that. Once I got out of Tulsa, once I moved away from Tulsa, my friend group was totally different. Yeah. Because at that point, I was old enough to be able to choose
who you wanted. Yeah.
Instead of just being tossed in the class with some people who now this is my friend.
Yeah, yeah.
So we got to be mindful that it's our choice who we're talking to, who we're dealing with, whether relationships, whether friendships, whether family.
Yeah.
It's our choice. We set the boundaries, and you have to set those boundaries.
So true, man. It is. And you need to know what your boundaries are before you go into different spaces as far as just like what you will accept and won't accept. And it's just like, all right, well, I was reading this one book called Who's in Your Room. And the whole aspect of it is in your mind. If you can think of one room, you could allow anybody into your room but the thing about it is that in this door that once they come in, they can't leave, so you really have to think about your circle of people. Who would you want around you for the rest of your life in one room? You had all the amenities, everything was good, but it's just you have to really go into different aspects of life. And I think even in your own head, in your own room, you have to really think about like, what do you want in your room, or the positivity, or the topics and conversations that you want in your room in your sphere of influence. Now, you do have to talk about some challenging things, some bad things, and sometimes, but for the most part, you don't have to do it all the time. You can get into your hobbies. You can get into things that make you happy. And I think that's the biggest thing for a lot of people is that, especially in like Oklahoma, like we're not the first to get everything. New York, Cali, they're the first to get all of the newest waves. But Oklahoma's kind of like 10, 15 years behind on a lot of things. And so I think even in therapy, like we don't get the things that are helping people as is immediate as so many other people. And so I think it's key that we do really take the time out to do your research and find out what is working in other areas, and not only just on your block, in your corner, in your city. You have to really research and look on what's happening so that you can get the stuff that you need right now, because life is progressing, but things are progressing so much faster in this world than we really anticipated, right? Yeah. For sure.
And then, we have to also think about what, if you could, this is kind of dark, but if you attempt to commit suicide and you fail, then where do you stand?
That's true.
Are you stuck in the hospital until you pass?
Yeah.
Is your family going to be able to swallow down what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of things to think about.
It really is. Michael K. Williams, he overdosed. The gentleman from The Wire,
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, Lovecraft Country as well. And he overdosed on drugs. Now they're saying that there is a rise of people that are overdosing on drugs. I talked to Harm Reduction, and they really get out there and help people that are like addicted to drugs.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. And
those drugs. We know that as they're putting that in the space, there's an empty space there.
Yeah.
Let's just put something there.
Yeah. It doesn't help, and it really hurts to know that that's what you run to every time you have challenges, and it's like who.
We got to understand that some of this drug addiction is genetic. Our family was also, had this addictive. Whether it be addiction to gum, whether it be addiction to playing soccer, some of it is genetic. We're not always at fault in the things that are happening in our lives.
I agree. It is passed down, but we have to be the ones to solve that puzzle.
To unpass it.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So it doesn't go from generation to generation. Like, you have to understand it's going from generation to generation, and your lineage, like who you are, now that we realize that and we're having conversation about it, like we can work to stop it.
Yes, we cannot let our past dictate our future.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, like, I see this all the time where parents are like, well, when I was growing up, we didn't have much food. So now I'm going to keep food in the house.
Oh,
now the children are overweight.
True.
So you really have to get that balance. You can't let something that's piled up in the back of your mind, dictate your current and future situation.
Yeah, you have to reevaluate a lot within that in your lifetime and your lifespan to reevaluate to see what's a healthy. They say moderation in everything, and that's starting to really come up a lot more. And I'm like, moderation. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I was telling my friends and my boyfriend too. I was telling them how I control my daughter's eating, and I don't control it. I don't tell her what to eat.
Right.
I'll just make her plate a little smaller.
Yeah, smaller portions. Yeah,
and I'm mindful, of those things. We have to all be mindful. Even the food we eat will dictate. Our
minds. I agree. I took my garlic and also my jalapenos today. Just before I came for that blood circulation, food can be your medicine and what you eat to help you in your body on a daily basis.
Speaking of that, I made my appointment with Sade from last week.
Nice.
No. I'm working on making it.
You working on making it? Yeah. Okay, I got mine. Mine is on Monday. I got my appointment on Monday. Yeah. So I was just like, hey, I just put it in there. I was like, I'm gonna show up, and she's like, cool. So I'm gonna go see Sade next week.
Everybody wants to try. Everybody I've told about trying acupuncture. They're like, I want to try it.
I did. Yeah.
So everybody reach out to Sade Roebuck if you would like to do. And you can follow her on Facebook if you'd like to do acupuncture. That was last week.
Yeah. So. I did acupuncture and I did feel a different result. I just wanted to try it. Yeah. And you did, but you have to continually go back and, get the supports that you need. And I was like, I just wanted to try it just one time. Just say I did it. You know what I mean? But I did see some benefits, you know what I mean? And so, that's so the different types of therapies for your body, especially because we still have like broken bones and hands and just stuff, stuff that is happening to you in your life that you do need to get healing from, So I just followed this, it was this group out of Detroit. So they have a mental wellness gym. And so they do this thing called, trauma release, basically. And they say we hold a lot of trauma in our bodies, and if we don't release that trauma from our bodies on a continual basis, then you'll hold that trauma for the rest of your life. And I think that's what a lot of our parents have done, and grandmothers, grandfathers have done, and they've survived through it. But I think that you can have a more fulfilled life if you really work to release any type of trauma in your body. I think that's a good start.
When I was a kid, I was really focused on trying to keep my youth, look as young as I can, as long as I can. Yeah. So I kind of made a promise to myself that I would be able to release things, be able to move forward. Yeah. So you kind of have to think about it like that. So a lot of people looking good is high on that priority list.
Yeah, for sure.
And all the stress and the outside things that affect us, we have to be able to, have some way to work through it.
100%, man. You do. So, for all of our veterans out there, hey, you are not alone. No matter how crazy you think that what you've been through, we weren't there. We can't say we experienced it just how you experienced it. No, I can't say that at all. But we are here. We have opening ears for you guys and also resources for you guys to get as well. So if you need those resources, man, please, don't hesitate to give us a call. You can give us a call at any time on this number, 918-856-3873. If you want to chime in as well, man, to give some details and talk about, mental health and mental wellness, I think that's a big thing that we all need to experience in our lives, man. If you're veteran or not, you've been through a lot in your lifetime. And so I think everybody pretty much has, so it's pertinent that we do get that information. If you could tell the number one more time for the veteran prevention as well, and make sure you go to the website va.gov if you're a veteran and you are already within the system, get the help for sure. But Misty, what's the number to get in contact?
So you will need to call the Veterans Crisis Hotline at 800-273-8255.
Yes, I've used a number like that one time. I was having a hard day. Yeah, I've used it. And I called, I was crying. I was like, man, I'm having a hard day. All I needed to do was talk about it and get it out, and I was good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. That's how it is. But they'll tell you immediately, this is not want to be on your record and stuff. So I'm glad I called at least once.
That's a good point.
Because I did not know how that works. I just want to get back to my therapist. What. I even have some people I know who every time they have any little, like, say if somebody cut them off in traffic, they'll call the therapist. And I don't
on call.
On call therapist. And I just look at them like, okay, if you need that, that's, I mean,
works for you.
But I was just shocked that it was a thing.
Yeah, like I can call like now.
Like I can call a therapist like my mom.
I want to call some else.
I need that.
That's dope. Yeah, to have it on speed dial, I ain't gonna front either, man. I mean, we all have those traumas and challenges, man. So it's like, don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed if you have those challenges, to be open to talk about it. Now, don't go out like go crazy out there and just like going off on people in the street, but not like contain yourself, and work it out to have the proper place to release any like hurt that you have. You know what I'm saying?
And like, I try not to pretend to know someone's walk.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be real straight up here.
Yeah,
like today, I saw the most beautiful woman in the store, and I said, "I just love your makeup." And she's like, "It's not makeup."
Wow, like dang, you are really beautiful,
right?
Just
and I just looked at her like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." Like, you look kind of shady. I didn't know she didn't have any makeup.
Yeah,
but you cannot, like, I can't pretend to know her walk.
Right.
I don't know if she got work done.
Right.
I don't know what she had, because some people had those tattoos on their face.
Yeah.
Like, I just try so hard not to try and believe that I know somebody else's walk.
Oh yeah.
Because in our minds we can say, "Oh, you didn't whatever or whatever." It's like we have to be able to just keep an open heart.
For sure. You do, man. You just don't know what people are going through. They walk and anything. Even when somebody's upset at you and try to throw you off on your day, you having a good day. It's just like, don't take it personal. It's like they may have just had a rough morning, a rough day. So,
on the other side of that, is you cannot blame someone if they don't know what you're going through if you don't tell them.
I agree.
You can't.
Yes. You have
to tell the person, like the closest person to you, whether it's your kids or your spouse. You have to tell them your story.
Yes.
If you don't tell the closest people to you your story, they can't be, compassionate with you.
That's it.
You have to. Yeah.
You got to be transparent.
You have to be human. Everybody is human.
Yeah.
We're all human.
Yeah. And it is. I and just in my head, I'm agreeing, but I agree that it is hard to just get out and talk to people about your troubles, because you may feel like that you're weird or you're crazy for talking about it, but. Now everybody goes through, man, and just be around, talk to trusted people, that can really help, get you in that direction, man.
Yeah, especially our children. Yeah. Because like with my daughter, she's tall like me. So I just tell her, I'm tall too. I went through the same thing. I'm here for you. Yeah. Just keep your head up.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You got to, man. You got to tell these kids to be strong in these days and to really know that you don't try to escape. From life, just really go and anticipate life and what it's gonna be, so it's good, man. So I'm so proud of just who we are and the information that we're sharing with you guys. Hopefully this is helping you, and it is a dedication to all of those veterans that did commit suicide and completed suicide. And it's hard, but the thing is that we all have to realize is that we all have to work together to help these veterans that have challenges with suicide, man. So and if you're not a veteran, or you are a veteran, but there are people that are still out there in your vicinity, in your world, that you may see that all you got to do is just ask them, is everything okay? But ask twice. Don't just ask once, ask twice, So that was really good. Yeah. Misty, how can people follow you on Instagram? She everywhere now.
You can find me on IG, Misty Von B. You can find me on TikTok at Misty Von B. Or you can find me on Snapchat at Misty Boss Lady.
Misty Boss Lady. So follow her, man. She's doing great things in her life. And I'm just proud of the woman that she is. A woman who is progressing in life, successful in life, and doing her thing, man. So she's a black woman veteran out here doing things, man. So it's such an honor to have you guys here with us. Catch me on IG at I am Ramal, and also Ramal Brown on Facebook as well. But yeah, veterans, we're here for you. There is support. If you need help, reach out to us on social media or just call the station once again, 918-856-3873. Someone will definitely assist you and help you anything that you need. So we thank you for listening to the show. Misty, any lasting words for anybody out there?
Seek God and the God in you.
Love it right there, man. Continue to speak life into your life and the lives of other, man. Prayer does work, and I just believe it, man. You are here on purpose. So live your purpose out, man. Thank you again. This is KBOB 89.9.com. We got the Juice Radio Show coming up next. Hey, man, this is a place you want to be. Check us out at KBOB 89.9.com, man. Peace.
Hard work, another day to work. Hard work, that's what they say. Hard work, I earn my pay. Don't move on now. Got to go make the call. Banging on the doors in the morning.
That you stole my heart. You are all that I anticipated. I wanted you